Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for Mashin Sentai Kiramager episode 34. So, yet another crap episode from a crap series. Just kidding, we're not talking about Saber. This was another good episode. I feel like a broken record saying that. Not to mention was it good, but it was another kind of big episode. Not maybe quite as big as the last two, but still an unexpectedly eventful and intense episode. Especially coming off of basically a two-parter where the villains were really making a big push. And this is another one where it felt like the Rangers' backs were to the wall. So our villain lady is wearing the mask of that evil witch that they encountered in the past, that what's his name? Oridin's family encountered in the past, and they have that time travel episode. But she's wearing her mask, like, on her, and she's using a poison from her she got, and she poisons Shigeru, and it creates, like, this game where only he can attack her, and, like, she's, like, the ultimate anti-Sentai villain in the sense that she just is really going after the whole friendship is magic thing that Sentai has, which I can agree. I'm like right in the middle. I'm like, dude, I get it. Your main message is friendship, Sentai, but also shut up about it. But I think that's kind of funny that, like, her main goal in this is she's like, well, you know, Tamateo told me, you know, your main goal is friendship, so I'm going to separate that from you and make you weaker as a result of it. And so you have that going on, and then while that's happening, Garza's attacking the city in Joki, and his whole aim is to get them to bring out Zabune, so that he can steal it and bring King Express back. And I really like this for a couple reasons. One, because it was cool to see old King Express, and it was cool to see Garza using it. And also, I'm actually surprised it didn't happen earlier, because when King Express proper was out, that happened a bunch of times where he would be using Joki and it would get stolen for their purposes, which I found amusing, but at the same time, when it kept happening, it's like, okay, how does it keep letting this happen? And I honestly can't believe I didn't think about the opposite somehow happening. And so not only was it cool to see that, but cool to see it late in the series. It doesn't really change the look of it or anything, it just gives it evil eyes. He put his angry eyes on. But that was pretty cool. And so, like, not only was that cool to see, but also, again, it brings up something I do like about Kiramager, is that it's not straight formulaic. So you have this ground storyline going on with Shigeru and Tamateo, and then you have the mecha fight going on. So you're not just doing the formula of like, okay, we're small and then we have to go big. You can have both happening at the same time, and both of them also have a unique conflict. So I like that it's not formulaic like that. And also, despite the fact that they do have, like I just mentioned, the Sentai preaching about friendship, that it doesn't hold them back, because so often in Sentai, in more generic Sentai, it's like, oh my god, we have to do all this tasks together, like, we can't separate. I'm like, dude, you have 6 people, you can do all these different tasks. They're like, no, it takes 6 people to change 1 light bulb. And I hate that when they go all in on, so much on the friendship thing, that it's like, they need everybody on one job. And that's something I like about Kiramager, is they're willing to separate the team because they have a big number. And that's something else I like about this, and I liked about the story in general. And it led to some both nice and funny moments between Yellow and Blue. Like, there was a funny moment where he's like, you did good, when he's kind of like on top of him. That sounded weird, but you'll know what I mean. And then there's the whole thing about, like, Shigeru is just worried about him. He's like, you need to stop worrying about me. And it just leads to some nice moments leading up to when they do defeat her at the end. And then with the mecha battle, you get to the point where Garza's, like, got him on the ropes. Because initially, like, Drew is with him and stuff, but he has to leave when the mecha battle gets intense and he brings over Oridin. But then eventually, Garza's got him on the ropes and he's about to, like, slice their heads off, like Anakin Dooku style. And then, I shouldn't! It's not the Kiramager way. Except he's not a Kiramager. That joke didn't work. To take him out when he hears a voice that tells him to go help her because she's about to be done killed. And then Jiro hears it at the same time. So this is not only an interesting development, but it also does bring up a slight pet peeve. And I know this wouldn't happen because it's Sentai and then there wouldn't be a show. But I hate when the villain's, like, about to kill the hero and something stops him because he has to leave. But he can easily still kill him on the way out. Like, no, go save her. I'd be like, okay. Swing! There goes your head, and then I go save her. Like, that extra little... You could even do it on your way out. Like, you could be like, okay, I'm gonna head over to save her, but on my way out, I'm gonna slice Kiramager Red's head off, like, just on the way out. Just I can do multitask. But he could have easily finished them off and also gone and helped her. But again, this is Sentai. It wouldn't have happened. It's just kind of a minor pet peeve that not just Toku does, but shows do that in general. But so this was an interesting episode. Like I said, there was two intense things going on with the mecha battle and the more personal fight on the ground. But then you have the interesting development with the voice that Garza heard, which would be interesting on its own, but it's interesting the fact that Drew can hear it. I'm gonna presume it's the giant Udon leader. But it was a lot of really good stuff in this episode, and I was surprised that something like this happened right after the two-parter. Like, I assumed we would take a little bit of a break. Kiramager's known for keeping pretty good momentum, but usually after they have something big, we do dial it back a little bit. And I really like that even after the two-parter, it feels like the Kiramagers are on the ropes, and it's really refreshing to make it feel like the fight is actually a fight and not just this one-sided thing where the Rangers kind of easily defeat monsters for the whole series outside of a handful of times where they're tested, and then you have the finale where it's more difficult. Like, it feels like they have an actual challenge on their hands. So another really good episode. I'd give this one probably an 8.5, kind of around what I would give the other two from the previous weeks as well. But what do you guys think? Did you like this episode? Did you like the developments? Were you surprised that we had another kind of serious episode after last week's two intense ones? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps, entering that bell. Congratulations for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.